So the Soca Warriors are one step closer to World Cup qualification, and the draw for the third round of Concacaf qualifying just took place, and we have been drawn in Group B with Jamaica, Curacao, Bermuda, and well, of course, ourselves, Trinidad and Tobago. So before we go into the analysis of the group itself, I'll just remind you of the equation. So of course, 3 groups were drawn, Group A, Group B, and Group C, and those are the top 2 teams from the groups of the last round. And of course, Trinidad and Tobago finishing second in their group, we were able to get into this. And of course, if we top our group, we get automatic qualification into the World Cup, and that goes for all groups. And well, if we manage to be one of the the top 2 second best finishers in the group stage, we still have a chance in the Intercontinental Playoff, which will take place in March. So even if we don't finish top of this group, we still have a second chance in that Intercontinental Playoff. So it's very important to at least finish second with a proper goal difference, and convincingly as well. Each team will play each other in a home and away leg between the international window of September and November in 2025 later down in the year, which means we'll have 3 home games and 3 away games. Let's go into the group. Jamaica, of course, finished top of their group very convincingly, as well as Curacao. Bermuda finishing second in their group, and Trinidad and Tobago, of course, we finished second as well. Now, that Jamaica game is going to be something serious. We know the rivalry that we have with the Jamaicans. We know that it's going to be a heated affair, but to be honest, I think Trinidad and Tobago, I think we are more than capable of beating Jamaica. Remember, this is a 2-leg game, so we do have that home advantage when we play in the AC Crawford Stadium. But then, of course, when we go away, it's a heated environment over in Jamaica as well. But if we are able to capitalize on that Jamaica game here in the Hasely Crawford Stadium, you do think that it would give us a chance against the Jamaicans. And we played them recently in the Unity Cup. Of course, those weren't the strongest teams of the 2 teams, but still gave them a run for their money. It was very close, 3-2, last minute penalty, very, very close. So with our full strength team, you do think that we can give Jamaica a run for their money, and more than give them a run for their money, but beat them as well. That being said, Jamaica is a very strong team. They have players who play in the Premier League, the likes of Leon Bailey, the likes of Damari Gray, who formerly played in the Premier League, Michael Antonio. These are big hitters, and that's when you wonder about our defensive ability, and that's where you have to put pressure on the team to really work on that defending, especially in this upcoming World Cup, because those games against those big teams, defense is absolutely critical. If you have men like Leon Bailey and Damari Gray running at you, it could be very, very scary. Nevertheless, I do think that Trinidad and Tobago has the capability to beat the Jamaicans. Over to Curacao, to be honest, I don't know too much about the Curacao team, but they have finished on top of their group in the previous stage of qualifying, which is very impressive. I believe as well that it was a clean sweep for them. So once again, we can't take anybody for granted, though Curacao may not be a traditionally known footballing team. That doesn't matter. Football plays on the day, on the pitch. It doesn't play on paper. So once again, we just have to stay focused. We know the quality that we have, especially going forward. But once again, defense becomes very, very important, and we have to be resolute and ensure that we don't let any easy goals creep in, because the goals are adding up. It's 2 legs, and we don't want to, lapse in that regard. And of course, finally, Bermuda, the least convincing team in this group, who again we can't take for granted. They did manage to get into this round, and if you look at it on paper, they're on the same level as us. We both finished second in our group, and we both advanced into this stage in the lower pots, because Bermuda was in pot 4. So we're supposed to be able to have the upper hand on them, but once again, we can't take anything for granted. So it's an all-Caribbean affair: Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Bermuda, and Curacao. So it's going to be very interesting. I think as fans, what we really have to do, the good thing about this round of qualifying is that we have 2 rounds, a home and away leg, and it is vital, it is absolutely vital that in the same way that Hasely Crawford Stadium was packed out against St. Kitts and Nevis, 20,000 plus people, every single home game between September and November for the Soca Warriors, we have to pack out that stadium. We have to take advantage of our home court advantage. We have to be the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th man and intimidate any team that comes into these shows. Very, very key that as fans, we play our part in doing that. I think we are competent, and once again, you have to remember that even if we don't finish on top of the group, we still have that second chance to be one of the 2 best runners up in the group stage and get into that intercontinental playoff in March. Now, that isn't ideal because it's so close to the World Cup, and you want to be pretty fresh and not studying competition, but in the same breath, it does give us a second chance, hopefully, and the goal should be for Dwight York and the guys to finish on top of this group. We get that automatic qualification and we could focus on preparing from the World Cup from November until next summer, where we probably just play like friendlies and really sharpen up and get that mentality ready for the World Cup promised land. So decent group, all Caribbean affair, and we can't wait till September, October and November to see what the Soca Warriors could do. So let's go. I believe we could finish on top of this group, but have to work on that defending. And I think if we do and we capitalize on the chances that we create with our attack, we could be in that World Cup next year.